Hello everyone. So now we will start our chapter 2, that is software qualities. So the definition of software quality is it's a judgment about the value of software from a particular perspective. So this particular perspective, this word over here is really important. When we will learn about software qualities, we have to think on which perspective we are thinking about that quality, whether it's a user perspective or it's a developer perspective. So that's why I just want to give a little bit idea about those perspective, and then we will move to learn about software qualities. So the first one, user perspective. So I have listed few questions over here from user perspective. The first one is, does the software provide the full range of desired functionality for its intended purpose? Actually, users are only interested whether your software is satisfying their purpose. They are actually not interested in your background design. They're not interested in all those computations or your development process. They only want that the final product will satisfy their purpose. And the next one is, does the software function reliably to produce correct results on correct input? So if you provide correct input, the software should work reliably. The software should function correctly. So that's what user is actually interested in. The next one is, does the software function safely and securely in response to bad input? So in your final project report, you have to show some test cases where you will put bad input and you will like incorrect input intentionally, and then you have to show how efficiently your software is handling that incorrect input. So if user give incorrect data or incorrect input, like, then how the software is handling that incorrect input, that's really important. So that's one thing user will look for it. And the next one is the software easy to use? Yeah, that's an important one. Your user interface should be easy to use, and then the user will be interested in it. Your user interface should not be complex to understand. It should not be confusing. It should be really easy and simple to use. And does the software perform responsibly or does it seem unnecessarily slow? Your software cannot be slow. It should work fast. And does the software work well with other software that the user employs? Like it's a actually you can say it's compatibility or interoperability. So how well your software is working, like how compatible is your software with other softwares? And from developers perspective, it actually concerns the source code, the quality of the source code. So the first question here is, how easy it is to modify the software to adapt it to changing requirements. Like when you will develop your software, the requirement could be changed. Then how your software is going to adapt that changed requirement. Like if there is a release of new version of the operating system, how well your software is adapting to that new operating system. So that's a changing requirement. The next one is, can the software be adapted to operate well on a variety of different computing platforms? So like there is mobile platform, there is cloud platform. So how well your software is working, like is operating on those different platforms. So that's one thing developer is concerned with. So I have listed one more perspective, that operational perspective. So it actually concerns IT people, like IT group professionals. So here the first question is the software secure from malicious attacks intended to compromise other components of IT infrastructure. So it's actually concerns security breach. And the next one is, does the software make good use of computing resources, or like if it's using more memory, or if it's using more processing power than necessary. So that's one operational perspective. So now you know different perspective, so we can move to qualities. So there are actually two kinds of software qualities. One is external qualities and another one is internal qualities. So external qualities, it's actually those qualities, those are visible to customers. So now you can utilize your user perspective knowledge over here. And internal qualities, it's actually concerns developers, and also you can add your operational perspective and developers perspective over here in internal qualities. So I have listed a few external qualities and internal qualities over here. So there are more, but I have listed only 5 over here. So the first thing is usability. So I will just give the keywords over here. We will discuss more in the next classes. So the usability is, if we just keep it short, it's actually expected ease of use. So that is your user interface, your architecture, so how easy it is to use your software. So it's expected ease of use. So that's usability. And the next one is correctness. So correctness, if I just say the keyword, it's actually satisfies requirements, like how your software is satisfying, how well your software is satisfying those requirements. So that's correctness of your software. And the next one is reliability. So it's actually low probability of a system failure. So your software will be reliable when it will not be down, or when there will be like if your system is there will be low probability of system failure. So then we can say that your software is reliable. And the next one is robustness. So robustness is like if there is any unforeseen circumstances, like network failure, or if there is incorrect input. So if there is any incorrect input over there, if there is any security breach over there, so how well your software is operating on those unforeseen circumstances. So that's robustness. And the next one is dependability. So dependability, it's just the fitness of intended use. So internal qualities here, so the first one is maintainability. So I have mentioned in chapter 1 that the 60% of total cost is used for maintenance of the software. So when developer is developing their software, they have to keep this cost in their mind. So the next one is reusability. So reusability is how well code can be reused. So when developers is writing their code, it should be reusable. And the next one is portability. So the portability is how well it can be run on different environment. And there is understandability. So understandability is like the ease of understanding the software. So if you give your software to other developers, how easily they are understanding that work. So that is understandability. And the last one is performance. So performance, it's actually from operational perspective. So that means how efficiently your software is using those resources, those like memory or computing power, like how efficiently your software is using those available resources.